My F26 girlfriend, F24, doesn't want to have my biological children. Okay, let me explain a bit. My GF, F24, and I, F26, been dating for about 4 years and we are getting married next year. Lately, we have been talking about having kids. Since we have a stable relationship, great income and a beautiful house. Since I was little I have always dreamed about being a mom. So a couple nights ago we were chatting about this. And she told me that she couldn't think of me pregnant since I'm more masculine than her. Also, she started to talk about how she wanted to only have children that were biologically hers because, in her words, I have bad genes and her family wouldn't love the kid as much as if it was hers. It's needless to say I don't care if the baby is mine or hers biologically. I will love them. It was just the ways she said these things. Like I'm at some point, the men, here. I have always dreamed about being a mom, but I'm not sure if this is something I should worry about. Reddit, please help me. Wait, what? The family won't love the baby as much if it's not hers? What in the manipulation is that all about? Inferior genes? What the actual heck? Never would I ever say that to somebody I loved. All I can say is that if this is the way she perceives your future children, makes me wonder if she'd even love or bond with the kid if it was biologically yours and not hers. Would have nay asking myself whether she'd even be a good mom. I can't imagine raising a child with someone who sees some children as superior than others. Especially if the one she sees as inferior is her partner's biological child. Her thinking her family wouldn't love the child if it was your biological child is pretty perverse. As to your genes, well, she knows you better than I do. If you have genetic diseases in your family, she may have a good point. If she just doesn't like some non-disease traits of yours, let's say vision that isn't perfect, she's being very shallow. I do think this is a conversation you have to have again and again. If carrying a child is important to you, don't give that away. Can you each have one? I would delay getting married until you've resolved this. Don't just assume it will work itself out in time. This is a huge make or break the relationship issue. The post title is confusing, but it sounds like she alone wants to bear any biological child. For some really quite bizarre reasons. You need to first find out where those feelings are coming from before moving forward with this relationship. Please don't do this to children. I'm not trying to make assumptions. This is just the first thing that came to my head. I'm a masculine presenting lesbian myself, so I'm sure that colored my vision on your situation. Is her family homophobic? I ask because of her comment about them not loving a baby that she didn't carry, isn't biologically related to her, them. Like they only tolerate her being with a woman, but having a kid that's not hers by blood is too far. Or that you being pregnant and having a baby would make it harder to think of you as the man in the relationship. Her saying that you're too masculine to be pregnant is also very heteronormative and might have to do with her family and or upbringing. Which again makes me wonder if she's got some internalized homophobia and can justify being with another woman because you're masculine presenting. It just feels very much related to having a traditional family. This is who you want to marry up? Do you not think you can do better? I'm disgusted for you. She shouldn't have children ever with that disgusting attitude. What a vile person. I know you only write here a very small part of her, but she sounds awful tbh. For me that's a big red flag. I am not sure I could be with someone that thinks like that. You totally sure she is the one? I mean she literally tell you that your genes are bad. That because you are more masculine, she doesn't want you pregnant. WTF. And that her family are as awful as her because they wouldn't love the kid as much if it's not blood. Related. Everything sounds awful. Girl, run XD. In Spanish we say, amiga date cuenta, XD. Jesus. Okay. If you aren't already rethinking the relationship, I would be. Then here's my 2 cents. A. You could be the butchiest butch of all butches, but your uterus still works. If you so decide to want biological children, who is she to say that you can't because you are the man? There is nothing wrong with being a masculine woman and wanting to be pregnant. B. There is no such thing as the man in a WLW relationship. Period. Y'all are 2 females. C. If she doesn't want the baby to have your supposed less than genes, then why has the relationship survived for 4 years? I could possibly understand if your family was predisposed to every imaginable disease on the planet. But my family will love them less isn't a valid excuse. Does she love you less? No. That statement just sucks in and of itself because it paints the picture that you are somehow not worthy. Her genes are not God's gift to humanity, so please tell her to get a grip. You shouldn't worry about it because your GF has obviously lost her complete mind. What's her counteroffer? She said she doesn't want X. So what does she want offering as her alternative? That's weird of her. Her family won't love the child unless it's bio, and she only wants bio kids. Also, her weird, too mask to be pregnant bit is stupid. That's a sad way to find out your girlfriend is homophobic. I'm sorry, op. At the very least, you need couple counseling before marriage. I have bad genes, so if your GF is engaging in low-level eugenics, why is she even with you? I would end the relationship right there. Do you really want to raise kids with that woman who wouldn't love your children? What if you find out she can't carry a baby? Will she and her family love a child you carry for them? Will she love the baby less than if it were hers biologically? Will she decide she doesn't want a baby? You need to discuss and clear up all scenarios before you marry. As someone who has raised 6 children, 4 of which were not biologically mine, I can confidently say people put far too much emphasis on blood. Children are children. What makes you a good parent is your ability to empathize with them when they are hurting, discipline them when they've done wrong, and the choice to love them always. If you choose to love a child less or more based on whether or not they contain your genes, you shouldn't be raising children, period. Also, she started to talk about how she wanted to only have children that were biologically hers because, in her words, I have bad genes and her family wouldn't love the kid as much as if it was hers. It's needless to say I don't care if the baby is mine or hers biologically. I will love them. It was just the ways she said these things. Like I'm at some point the men here. Big red flags here. Please reconsider getting married to this person who is so cruel and unkind to you. It's like if she married a man and then requested a sperm donor. Doesn't make sense. Unless she's had some sort of genetic testing, then how dare she comment on your lineage? I find her attitude alarming and disgusting, tbh. Is this really the place to raise kids?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.